Menneson, Pennsylvania is my hometown.
Monty Meza-Clay, Pittsburgh, PA.
We are bringing boxing back to Pittsburgh.
Stay relaxing.
Samuel Vasquez Jr. has stopped James Stevens.
It's gonna go down. Watch me go toe-to-toe and knock somebody out.
I'm bringing fighting back to boxing.
An hour south of Pittsburgh, hidden deep in the woods of California, Pennsylvania, lies Buzzy Garnick's gym, home to Team Salka.
Rod Salka. I've been boxing professionally for 7 years. I'm from the area. I'm from Pittsburgh, so South Hills. Graduated, joined the military. Did 10 years in the Air Force. Right whenever I graduated, it's when I, started boxing. And the gym in McKeesport had boxing on the other half of the gym. So, I worked out and lifted weights for about a month or two, and then I'm like, it looked interesting. I went over and tried it, and then fell in love with it. And that's all I've been doing since then, pretty much. Like when I turned pro, I was still, pretty green. I didn't have the national amateur experience. I still was doing all kind of other stuff. It was more I got into it and started boxing because I loved it. I turned pro because I wanted to see where I could take it.
My name is Andrew Buzz Garnick. Lived here all my life, Consol Center, Pennsylvania for 78 years. Been boxing for 60 years. And I had some great ones come in here through the door. Kid Gavilan, Fritzy Zivik, Kelly Pavlik later on, Roy Jones Jr., very good. It was just an amateur boxing career that I started. Then I was in a car accident. I was in a hospital, and after 7 weeks, got put back together after 6 years. And then I started training some kids that I had, and I had my old trainer help me with them. And we've been together ever since till we died here about 17 years ago. And I just did it all then.
My relationship with Buzzy's, evolved. I met him when I started going to college. I went to college at Cal U, and Paul Spatafor was champion. He was up here training. So I would come up here to work out when I could because, my gym was really far away.
I get on, we'll work things out. We have a difference, we'll work it out together. It's not a one-way street. A lot of trainers want this, want that, want that. I said, no, if it works, we're going to use it. If it don't work, we can't.
5 years ago, I started training with him full-time, and he's just like another Pap. You know what I mean? He's unbelievable. Like I've never, in my life, I've been around a lot of people, a lot of big trainers and a lot of this and a lot of that. I've never, ever come close to meeting anybody like Buzz.
While Salka's camp lies south of the Steel City, it's only fitting that his crosstown rival will be stationed up north. Ambridge, Pennsylvania, home to world-class boxing gym and Team Meza-Clay.
Tom Yankello, trainer of World Class Boxing Gym, head trainer of World Class Boxing Gym, and trainer of Monty Meza-Clay. For the 4 years that I knew him as an amateur, I was not training him. He had fought another one of my boxers. It was a rival, actually. They had fought 3 times in the amateurs, Verquan Kimbrough.
Monty Meza-Clay from Rankin, PA, a little suburb outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Went to school at Woodland Hills School District, pretty big school. I said boxing, fighting actually found me. I was in Spanish class in 8th grade. The name got called over the loudspeaker, Mclay coming to the office, and a guy recognized my name, and when I got back, he asked me was I a junior. He told me that he had heard a lot about my father because his father used to box with his father. My father used to box with his father, and if they found a gym, would I be interested in going? I said, absolutely. I told him my father had been telling me he going to get me into boxing and get me into the gym, and we had never found it. And never forget, all I did was do what everyone told me to do, and never forget everybody surrounding me, calling me a natural. I started in the gym in January. I was already fighting in February, and Golden Glove tournaments and everything. I was already full-fledged fighter. I already knew this is exactly what I'm going to do.
And Monty had approached me and reached out to me and asked me about training him, and I felt he had a ton of potential, and I felt that I could help him become a champion. So I told him, let's go, and here we are 14 years later.
I just heard this from Bernard Hopkins a few days ago. There are too many trainers and not enough teachers. And I always knew that about Tom. Tom is definitely a trainer and is definitely a teacher.
I mean, there's nobody that has the ability to endure and persevere like Monty. I mean, he's remarkable. I mean, what he's done over the last couple fights, I believe that they're the best 2 fights of his career. So, I mean, especially the last fight of the year, and a lot of people didn't expect it. And a lot of people felt like his best fights maybe were behind him with all the injuries that he's had, and he's persevered through them. I mean, I've never really witnessed anything like it.
I knew I was going to be a fighter when I first started competing. I got the cheers, and I was able to move the crowd. But I believe I made my mind up the night that Spatafor won the title.
Like Spatafor was the champion. Now you're seeing ripple effects of guys that came up looking up to him. He was the reason they came into the gym.
You know, I just respected him as a fighter. I really was enjoying that. And I'll never forget being on the balcony, just like a movie. You know, it was night, the stars out, the moon is out. We're on the suite, the top level, and I'm just looking out over that part of the city, and I was like, I'll never forget making my mind up that night, like, wow, this is exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be a fighter.
Menneson, Pennsylvania is my hometown.
Monty Meza-Clay, Pittsburgh, PA.
We are bringing boxing back to Pittsburgh.
Stay relaxing.
Samuel Vasquez Jr. has stopped James Stevens.
It's gonna go down. Watch me go toe-to-toe and knock somebody out.
I'm bringing fighting back to boxing.
Every boxer is only as strong as the team in his corner. Both Tom Yankello and Buzzy Garnick have experience training each other's fighters. Not only being on the same team, but sharing the same corner.
I worked with Rod, I believe, from 2007 to almost it was in 2009. It was almost 2 years that we worked together, and we always worked great together. I thought we had a great rapport, and we worked well together. Logistically, it was really difficult for him. He lived over an hour away, and he went to school at the time, I believe, and he worked a job at midnight. So schedules were rough at the time for both of us to match our times in the gym.
I get along with Tommy great. You know what I mean? I get along with him great. I have no problems with Tommy, yeah, or Monty or any of those guys. Like, yeah, I would hope after the fight that, you know, everybody's still able to, that's what I'm shooting for. Because, I mean, he's going to be living here, I'm going to be living here. What are you going to do, just be mad for the next, you know, it's a business. I got a contract. I signed the contract, and we're going to go to work.
I told you that I know him. I have a history with him. him in his training camp, and I lived in that training camp, and I know how beneficial it is. I know how beneficial it was for me, because he has a great guy in his corner with that man, Buzzy Garnick.
Monty was here. He was one of my main men. He had his own bed and everything like that, cooked for him, and helped him out what I could. If Tommy couldn't make it up, I'd take him out for road work and different things like that.
That's a man who helped build my career, my early helped me build and develop myself early in my career.
Monty's been up with me too, and Tommy and all them guys. They know we ain't fool around it. It's a serious business. And I treated Monty good when he was up here, and I still love him. And I will night at the fight, night after the fight. But this is a real fight here for them two. The two best 135-pounders in the tri-state. Monty going to come after him, and Rod's going to outbox him.
Well, I don't think the history has really affected things in this camp because, I mean, I'm a professional. I've been doing this for a long time.
As far as the fight being different from, you know, because obviously I know I'm a spar with him before. I mean, it's more other people kind of make it, or more of the issue. Like, I mean, he signed the contract, I signed the contract, we're fighting. It's pretty simple concept.
Well, he'll come to relentless punches. When you throw 100-plus punches, you got to deal with that. You got to outfoot him, stay a step ahead, and box him. Can't get no Donnybrooks with him or stand there like a big bag without the chains on. You got to keep moving from this guy, because he'll be throwing them at all angles.
When training a fighter, there's a lot of things that go into it. I mean, it's more than just getting a guy in shape. It's about him, you know, working on his fine skills, fine-tuning his attributes. The
most important thing is his road work and sparring, and he does a lot of shadow boxing, which is good. That way you get your balance, and you have to get that distance, not helping with the pads and stopping their punches when they come and stopping them here, stopping them there. They're not learning nothing that way. They'll get in shape other than that just to make more mistakes. And the shape comes with the way you live. Friends you keep, food you eat, hours you sleep. And that works together. You can't be nothing but a winner.
Confidence just comes from experience and fighting a lot of fights and being on big stages and getting the rounds in, and especially it comes from doing the right thing in the gym and training. You know, if you're not training right or you're not doing this right, then it'll always be in the back of your mind. And you know, I'm living up here for 8 weeks, so there's no doubt that my body's physically ready, and there's no doubt that I'm mentally more than prepared for the fight.
I gotta salute him. You know, you gotta give him a bravo for, you know, to watch him start to come up the ranks. He didn't make any noise, you know, didn't make any noise coming up, and then out of nowhere, you get blessed with an opportunity, and now you can come out, you can jump ahead of a lot of people. So that was, and then now you can come at me, and it's like, well, hold up, I put all this work in. What makes you think that you can? But that was the opportunity was given. You know, you got to count your blessings, and that was truly a blessing for him. So, you know, not to say nothing bad, but you didn't make no major noise.
Menneson, Pennsylvania is my hometown.
Monty Meza-Clay, Pittsburgh, PA.
We are bringing boxing back to Pittsburgh.
Stay relaxed,
Samuel Vasquez Jr. has stopped James Stevenson.
It's gonna go down. Watch me go toe-to-toe and knock somebody out.
I'm bringing fighting back to boxing.
Am I the villain in this fight? Absolutely not. Because I guess I could be the villain if the truth hurts. They say the truth hurts. I'm just speaking the truth. November 14th is still to be determined, you know. We have to have a winner and a loser. How I believe that fight's going to play out, that's still to be determined. Like I said, how I believe, though, you're going to have to run from me. You're going to have to run from me. You're going to have to run from me, bro.
I don't think there's a big secret on what's going to be the predominantly strategy of the fight. I mean, both guys are going to try to control the pace. Monty's coming to fight, and he's going to try to turn it into a fight. And I think Rod's going to try to turn it into a boxing match. And It's basically the guy who executes his game plan better, and that's the guy that's going to win.
And we're in for a big fight. This is a cross-town fight like they had back in '49 in the '50s with Charlie F. and all them guys, Lee Sala, Andy Kid DePaul. Them guys used to fight. I never was at Duquesne Garden. They used to have cross like north side, south side. They draw large crowds. This will draw a large crowd. A lot of people think this should be built as a lightweight championship of the world, Rod and Monty. Monty will be up for this fight too. Rod knows it. So we got to be at our best to beat him. This is 8.5 weeks now for this fight. And I know when we started back on September 15th, the following Sunday, he said, let's go do road work tomorrow. I said, okay, and it was raining cats and dogs. I said, this is something special. This is a big fight for him. Cross-town fight like this in Monty. Monty's a real guy, and he's going to come after Rod every 3-minute round. And Rod's going to be in tip-top shape, out boxing. And that's what we're expecting, and we're ready for it right now.
Your life ain't hard enough, bruh. Your life ain't hard enough. You ain't been through enough yet, man. I'm going to push you, and I'm going to see what you do. I'm going to see what you do. A man, a real fighter, going to punch me in my face. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to push me back. You're going to really want to take these things off, and you're going to really, that's what I'm looking for you to do. I haven't seen that out of you yet.
Tyson tried that. He tried to get me and Collado to talk trash in the last fight. And I just think it's funny. Like, if someone tried to do that, if Monty comes up and tries to get, I'm just going to probably laugh. Like, I'm probably just going to laugh. I mean, we're literally going to fight. It's signed. It's done. We're going to fight. So, like, there's no need to talk.
When the bell ring, what you going to do? What you going to do when somebody get in your face and start smushing you around like that? You know what I mean? What you going to do? What you going to do?
And like I said, you're sending a terrible message to everybody else. Because, I mean, granted, yeah, when we're in the ring, I'm in there trying to knock this guy out. I'm trying to beat him up. But that should be in the ring.
Menneson, Pennsylvania is my hometown.
Monty Meza-Clay, Pittsburgh, PA.
We are bringing boxing back to Pittsburgh.
Stay relaxing.
Samuel Vasquez Jr. has stopped James Stevenson.
It's gonna go down. Watch me go toe-to-toe and knock somebody out.
I'm bringing fighting back to boxing.
I mean, growing up, I watched Mike Tyson. He was world champion when I was 15 years old, you know, so I grew up watching Mike. He's always inspired me, and now here he is as a promoter for this fight. And so, you know, it's exciting.
If anyone knows how to bring boxing back to a city that once boasted so many world champions, it's Iron Mike Tyson.
You have Iron Mike Productions promoting the fight. I mean, that makes it huge. You got Mike Tyson in the city of Pittsburgh. It has come to the city of Pittsburgh, has recognized that this is a boxing city. At one time, Pittsburgh was one of the greatest boxing cities in the world. I mean, in Pittsburgh was only second to New York in world champions in the 1940s and 1950s. I think historically, we still are.
Within the last year, Iron Mike Productions has not only signed Monty Meza-Clay, but another all-action fighter in Sammy Vasquez Jr. Boasting a record of 16-0 with 12 knockouts and no sign of slowing down.
I really like Vasquez. There's not too many fighters that I'm fond of, I can say, you know what I mean? I guess locally, I don't know if it's a subconscious thing that I'm posted and I'm shrugging against y'all. Yeah. No, but you know, we all gotta walk our own, you know, path, our own road. But I really like him, man. He's a good fighter too. He's tough.
No, I'm excited for Sammy, man. It's a big deal. It's a big fight for him. You know, the kid he's fighting has been in there with a lot of guys. You know what I mean? He's won a lot of fights. He's not gonna take any. He's doing the same thing I'm doing. He's up every day doing what he has to do. He was in the military for a number of years, so he knows what it takes. And there's no rearview mirror in boxing. Like, you can't say, oh, I want to go back and I got to go back and work a little harder for that fight so I have a chance. So I think he's going to come out. I think he's going to look good. And I think everybody involved with him has done a really good job with him up to this point. You know, they've moved him really well, put him in the right fights, and I think he's going to be another big fighter here in the next year, 2 years out of Pittsburgh. I expect to see him on, you know, on major network television fighting big fights.
He's tough, you know. He really is, man. He's exciting. With the last fight we had, I was actually pretty impressed. You know, he putting some good combinations together. He was hurt. And for him to come back from being hurt, you know, that says a lot about his character, you know. So I salute to Vasquez, and I appreciate him. He brought some attention to the city also, you know what I mean? And especially since I was off, been off for a year and a half, almost 2 years. And so for him to bring the attention back and for me to be able to slide my way right back on like I was never gone, you got to appreciate that.
He's going to come out and win this fight. I don't know too much about the other guy. I don't get involved in all that. But they'll have to deal with him too. A few things you got to get straightened up, and he'll straighten them up with his trainers and that. And should go on to be a world champion. That's saying a lot. Because when I said that, that door only opens up for a gifted few. But he's working at it. He's a young man, 27 years old. So he got a little bit of time there to get it together, and I'm sure Mike Tyson will put it together for him and get him a title fight.
Pittsburgh sports has always been big, and now if you're a boxing fan or if you're not a boxing fan, you get to come out and see how big boxing can be, because this fight has the makings of a great fight and doesn't get much bigger. You have two local guys fighting each other, basically for everything at stake, a world championship fight at stake. And then you have Sammy Vasquez, who's been putting on tremendous performances, and I mean, he's always been a great action fighter. And like I said, you got two great fights there, and you have a great undercard. It doesn't get much better than this. And if you miss it, shame on you, because like I said, it's going to be one of the best boxing nights you've ever seen in the city in a long, long time.
Yeah, it feels good to fight at home. It does. I just hope that I hope people come out to watch it. You know what I mean? I hope that the place is packed and people are going crazy and are excited for the show. But the fight in Pittsburgh, you know, you're from here. You're going to have all of your friends and family there.
If you're a fan of the art, I'm an artiste, so that's why you need to be there. But it is, you know, the whole atmosphere is just, the whole atmosphere is fireworks.
Me and Monty and Sammy are doing really well. You know what I mean? You got three guys here that are really good fighters. So whether you like boxing or you don't like boxing, or maybe you've never seen boxing, it's definitely worth coming out to the fight to see it, to try it one time. Just come out and try it and see if you have a good time one time, because the atmosphere at these fights are crazy.
We're bringing boxing back. You know, that's the mission. That's been my mission for years. That's now IMP's mission, to bring boxing back to the city of Pittsburgh. You know, me being who I am in the city of Pittsburgh, as far as the level of fighter, who I am and the level of fighter he is, now you got two titans clashing together. That's huge.
The atmosphere when you got two local guys fighting each other that are both, you know, contenders, top 15 guys in the world, it's going to be something special. And then you have Iron Mike Tyson, so Mike Tyson's going to be there. It's a really cool thing that's not going to happen all the time. It's not like baseball where you're playing 100 and some games, or football where you know they're playing on Sunday and you come out. We're fighting, you know, November 14th, but you don't know when we're going to be fighting again next time, and you don't know who's going to be on the card next time.
It's personal. It's definitely personal. It's a personal thing. Why is it personal? I feel it's personal because who do you think you are? I've been on the throne. Who do you think you are to come along and knock me off of this? It's going to take a lot, someone a lot better than you. Though I do know you're coming prepared, like you're supposed to. Who do you think you are?
The last fight, I took a lot of flack on the last fight just from getting it. And I expected that, and you know, a lot of it had to do with timing of when it came out and rankings and a bunch of political stuff kind of caused all that. You know what I mean? But yeah, you always have to bounce back. If you lose, you know, you got to come back. I don't want to say I'm reinvigorated, because I mean I was more than ready for the last fight too. You know, and the fight before that, like I train really hard for every fight. You know, there's no, well, I'm doing more this time because you really can't do any more. You know, so I'm just ready for the fight. You know, I need to bounce back, have a great fight here so that I can get a world title shot at the beginning of next year. You never know when you're going to get a call for a fight, and you have to take it, and you have to always be ready and always be in shape 24/7. And that's what these guys do, man. And we have a lot of guys now that are young and hungry and that are coming up through the ranks, and even the amateurs that I've seen, and they all have that same mentality. So it's going to be something special, I think, here in the next few years in Pittsburgh, and now's the time to start coming out and watch the fights. So I'll see all you guys on November 14th.
November 14th, Consol Energy Center, IMP Iron Mike Productions with Monty Meza-Clay versus Rod and Salka.